Hello and welcome to episode 2 of The Tee-Off, the first Australian disc golf podcast. My name's Paddy Robinson, and together with Jarrath Sweetten,
Yo!
and Andrew Ferguson,
Howdy.
we've got quite a show for you. It's too groovy. It's too groovy.
Rich Hatcher, is that right?
Richard Hatcher, yeah.
Wow.
A very good friend of mine created that.
Great tunes.
He's a ukulele magician.
Didn't hear any ukes in that though.
It's all synthesized.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Digitized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the soloing, that's all ukulele.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about ukulele. We're here to talk about disc golf.
Oh,
The
yeah.
greatest sport in the world.
Yeah, we are.
Well, first up, what's been happening in the world of disc golf? We've had 2 big tournaments recently, and I've enjoyed both of them. They've been fantastic. Big things have happened.
Yeah.
First one, Masters Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be one of the best courses out there. Let's be honest.
Well,
It looks crazy.
You tell us, Paddy. You played that.
I have been there. I have played it. It is De La Viega in Santa Cruz, California. I was lucky enough to play it last year. And first off, the videos do not do it justice. I can tell you that straight away. They always talk about getting Daylard, and man, I got Daylard. Like, you were playing on their proper hills, and cliffs off the side of the hills. It's
Yeah.
And there's been a few upgrades to the course as well, I noticed. There's a few little retaining walls being put in and things like that, just to kind of help with the wearing away of around the baskets and things like that, and to make it a little bit more pretty as well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I guess it's like a pretty high traffic course, so.
it's insane.
If they don't do that, it's going to. And did you notice some of the fallen pines that they had on the fairways?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Did see that. Yeah.
They had some big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Jess said, it is such a popular course. When I was there, I was lucky enough to chance on their weekly, and it had about 70 people at their weekly. That wasn't even their monthly, which is even bigger, about 150 people.
Wow. There you go, Sam Thurtle. You wouldn't be alone again playing a Daylard with the old Where's Weekly.
Yeah. I saw that photo.
All by myself. Don't
wanna
be.
It was the Daylard. They played the actual disc golf course. They had 2 rounds on that. First round as well, Paul Macbeth coming straight out. He was off like a bride's 90. Straight out of the box. Shooting a 15 under in round 1, which is course record.
It's robotic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hot sauce.
Just chill, man. Just chill. Come on, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was so awesome to see. And then from there, he just set himself up pretty comfortably, held onto it, and I think he won in the end by 10 strokes over Ricky Wysocki.
That's very comfortable, isn't it? Really. I mean, especially in the climate of disc golf today, you don't beat Ricky Wysocki by 10 strokes too easy, do you? So
Yeah.
something special's going on there. 1104 rated opening round, 57.
Come to play.
Yeah. Well, either that or he just feels really, really comfortable playing there. Which maybe
Yeah,
a little bit of that.
in the commentary, that what they say about Daylard is you're gonna bogey, you're gonna do it. Everyone's gonna do it, but it's what you do after the bogey that makes a difference. And I think he did bogey like maybe once or twice, but
It wasn't until the second round, though, was it?
at
least.
Only once or twice.
So yeah, Paul Macbeth just coming out, smashing the course, 10 strokes over Ricky Wysocki. Did the final 18 as well wasn't played on. Well, it's still De La Viega, but it was actually played on their golf course. And this is one thing I didn't realize when I was driving to the course to find it. You actually drive up this massive hill and you drive through the golf course. And there's baskets on the golf course. I'm like, oh, is this it? Like, this doesn't look like the videos. And then you drive through and it's kind of like, it's really funny. You drive through this pristine golf course. It's just beautiful, like all manicured, all just really lovely. And then you go into this kind of like dirt track and windy around, and then it's all trees and thick bush, and then you pop out at the proper disc golf course. But it's just majestic. Yeah, it's good that I like the difference as well. I like the change.
So the golf course is permanent. The disc golf course on the golf course is permanent.
Yeah, it is now. Yeah, I think when I was there, they only had 9 holes permanently installed, but yeah, I think they've changed that now because the aim was. I think I was talking to Matt Beatty, which is he's one of the main Santa Cruz guys, and he was saying that they were looking at installing a full 18. So,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
And I think in terms of people crushing it at Daylar, Paige Pierce again, bringing it home strong, doing Jennifer Allen in by 9 strokes.
9 strokes.
That's
Jennifer
pretty solid.
Allen though, that's good on her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's a solid performer. She's been touring for a while now, and with her sponsorship with Innova, she's certainly ranking up there at the tournaments this year. It's great to see.
And you know who else snuck in there in the old 3rd position? Valerie Jenkins.
There you go.
Ooh.
I've been thinking about her. I've been when's she coming out? I haven't really followed her. I haven't seen too much. She's over to Discraft now, slowly building up the bag and getting to know the discs again. And then she popped out and took a 3rd.
Yeah, pretty good.
I think the new discs are
It's
doing something.
It's not phasing her. Yeah.
That's great.
Smooth transition.
Nice. But yeah, congrats to Paige Pierce there for winning another tournament. Just really coming into her stride, eh?
Solid. Yep.
Yeah. What doesn't she win? Who's going to beat her? Okay, the next one, the Disc Golf Pro Tour event presented by Latitude 64, the Utah Open.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an event.
Yeah, it was a ripper. Good to watch.
Those Disc Golf Pro Tour guys are doing some really good things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, really good things.
100%.
Yep.
They're doing real good stuff.
Yeah, and like all their live stuff, and they're getting up their the Smash Box are kind of getting involved and putting up smash cuts and all sorts of stuff.
Oh.
It's great.
They had three separate film crews there. They had Central Coast, the Smashbox crew, or the disc golf guy, and Jomez.
Jomez, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was plenty of visuals.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was great.
Making it look top notch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty hard when it's in Utah, and it looks so amazing. That scenery looks, pretty damn nice.
Oh, surrounded by mountains.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think they're pretty elevated up there, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, well,
It's funny because that does change the flight of your disc a fair bit.
Well, actually, where the course is, I'm not sure so much, but
Yeah.
obviously in the background there's some elevation.
Yeah. Well, the course was Mulligan's Creekside disc golf course. It looked like it was it's a ball golf course normally, and the way that they've designed the actual disc golf course around it looked pretty gnarly.
Some pretty crazy basket placements. A lot of elevation, a lot of bunkers, a lot of fast fairways, fast greens even.
Yeah.
Would have made for some tough golf, I think. I think they've really used that area well. It looks like because it doesn't look like a huge area that they've got to work with, but the space that they have used, they've designed it quite well.
And the bringing in the hazard rule for the sand bunkers.
Yeah,
Always
that's
a
really
good
cool.
one. I think that's
really
good too.
cool.
And if you don't know what the hazard rule is, I guess basically if your disc is inside that bunker, you're playing from where it lies with a penalty. So, as you said before, Jazz, about those basket placements, which might be 1 meter from the sand. If you're in it, well, you're playing there with a penalty.
And it also makes people play sort of, I guess, a little more aggressive compared to if it was just played as normal out of bounds and not hazard. People might sort of back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas with the hazard rule, they'll tend to be a little bit more aggressive and go for their shots. And if you have a bad break, you just play it from where it lies anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah, interesting.
How were those nets?
The driving range.
Yeah. There was a couple of holes where dudes were like literally throwing it towards the net.
At the net,
Yeah.
backboard.
Yeah, and hoping for this kind of like
Ricochet.
wall ride kind of thing.
Yep.
Oh, and how
Interesting.
the sound it made when it hit one of the poles that held up the net. Oh, that was.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, just
Were they metal poles?
yeah, big metal poles.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was, yeah, it's heartbreaking and satisfying at the same time. Yeah, look, it was a pretty tight field actually. There were some big names that came and played this event, but I tell you what, to be honest, watching until the last maybe 3 or 4 holes of the final round, it was anyone's game.
Yeah.
Anyone's game.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously, the boys that were up there, Ricky Wysocki, he was up there from the get-go. Josh Anthon.
Mate.
Mate.
I tell you what, that final 9, or was it final 9 or 18, or final
18.
round?
Yeah.
Oh, that putting clinic. Oh, absolutely. Oh, so good to watch. I
No
was
fear.
in my element. Yeah. Those
No
guys,
fear.
just knocking them down from 10, 15, 20 meters out. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Just dead center.
It's just ridiculous.
It's crazy.
No effort. No. Oh, yeah. There's like a 5 meter drop off behind that, straight into a bucket. Yeah,
bunker
whatever. Oh, water. Yeah, sure.
No fear.
I
no
can
fear.
I can hit this. It doesn't even register as a miss.
Ugh.
This is easy.
And some people, if you haven't played disc golf very long, or at least in the last few years, you might not have seen him, especially not on YouTube videos. I mean, he's what I know that he is a world putting champion.
And you're talking about Josh Anthon.
I am talking about Josh Anthon. Yeah.
Yeah, has had a few years off, and 2-time world champion runner-up.
Yeah.
And
That doesn't happen easy.
Yeah, no. And look, he may not have the distance that some of the big guns have these days, but he sure as hell makes up for it with his putt and approach game and just general all-round skills. He's a talented guy.
Insane.
And for someone that's had a couple of years off and just straight back on the bike and mixing it with the best, it's crazy.
And speaking of just those YouTube videos, I think it's very interesting to see. Even though he's had those few years off, he's kind of come back just playing and looking exactly the same. And I'm not dissing him because I think he's great, but he's rocking the long shorts, like the t-shirt hanging out.
Yep. Straight from the 90s, mate.
Straight from the 90s.
Or maybe early 2000s.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just looking like he's VHS. He's looking like he's old school pixelated against your Ricky Wysocki's wearing their, tight fitted stuff, tucked in belts.
Proper golf style.
Yeah. And I think that's great. I think it's a real theatre for the sport.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Great to watch.
Yeah.
Great to watch. Great to see him back.
100%.
Well, as well in the men's open, who was also really, really challenging the lead for quite a long time was Jeremy Colling. He was really tight. Unfortunately, in that final round, just had a bit of bad luck and went a few strokes down. But geez, he was on fire.
And when you're that close, you can't back off too much. You got to actually have a go at it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a couple of bad breaks here and there, and
the top almost top 8 players. That it was so tight.
Yeah.
It was so tight, and I little special mention, Dana
Vici.
He actually, it was two players. It was him and was it Austin Turner?
Ooh, young gun. Yeah,
yeah. Who
his game. Yeah,
love his game. Yeah,
lefty.
And just solid. Not afraid of anything. Good putter too. They came out they were on the chase card and they destroyed that course. Dana actually shot the lowest score of the tournament, which was a 46
for the tournament. Score for the tournament. Wow.
Yeah, which was
just checking the stats.
Yeah, it was a 1075 rated rounds.
Boom. There you go.
Bang in your final round.
Yeah.
And actually came out and took third place.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a solid third round. Discmania is one of Discmania's finest there.
Yeah, he was leading the tournament because obviously he finished 2 or 3 holes earlier, and he was in the lead for a bit. Yeah.
During that
period where he'd handed in his card.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing quite like someone on the second card leading a tournament in the final round.
Yeah.
That's exciting disc golf.
Yeah.
Well, the guys were like, "Oh, geez, we need to get a camera over there." Like,
Yeah,
you
you just can't you can't show that on film, like
Well,
unless you got split screen or something.
Yeah. Well, kudos to them. They had that
Smash cut.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had the.
Apologies, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. I did see that.
It was epic.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Terry.
On your Tez. Enough about the men though, because as exciting as it was watching the blokes, the girls.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a battle worth watching. And I tell you what,
Playoff?
like so at the very start, Paige Pierce came out firing, and I think she had the lead by a couple of strokes at least, but unfortunately had to DNF. Not 100% sure on the reasons why. I think it was a family matter or something like that.
Personal matters.
Personal
probably.
matters. But she had to leave. But a silver lining to that was it created this battle between Jessica Weiss and Katrina Allen that was just unreal. That final round, it was back and forth. They were even for like 6 holes, and then Jessica, she like 3-putted or 4-putted on a hole, gave Katrina 3 strokes ahead, and I'm sitting there watching. Oh, jeez, it's over. I was like, that sucks. That really sucks. And then, she just came out and destroyed it. Like, birdie.
Revenge.
Oh, it was incredible.
Wow.
And, if you haven't watched it.
I have not seen it yet myself.
A bit of spoilers here. It does go down to a playoff, and Jessica Weiss triumphs. And it's her first Disc Golf Pro Tour win, I'm pretty sure. Or, like, major win.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, Jessica.
Yeah.
On the board.
One to put into the YouTube watch
Okay.
files.
Definitely flag that one.
Yep.
Unreal.
Save for later.
But the other thing we did sort of notice in the Utah Open was that some of the baskets were raised. And in the first round there was they had their commentary.
Yep. I must preface this by saying the Pro Tour has been raising baskets a little bit. They've got their own style of it's almost like a cylinder that comes up flush with a catcher. You'll notice that on some of the previous footage, but yeah. And there was some talk about this during one of the commentaries, wasn't there?
Yeah, and we especially found this interesting because at our recent event, the Vic Open, we did have slightly raised baskets, and we just found it interesting, and we actually
we had some comments about that at the time. Like people were sort of, well, I wouldn't say they didn't know what to think, but they found it interesting.
It was unexpected.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, we had an intention going into the event that we wanted to do this because we thought it would create some challenge. Yeah, and that sort of is almost backed up by the comments that I think it was Jeremy Colling and Yuli made during
This is Big Germ.
People talk about the sport advancing by making baskets smaller. I think we make baskets smaller by elevating them. Yep. And it makes people really think about their putt, consider whether or not it's worth going for. And I think that people are upset when it's just unnaturally lifted. They are fine with them on a mound, but when they're unnaturally lifted, that's different. And I don't see it being any different whatsoever. It still keeps you thinking, and that's what I like about it.
Like, what a point. Like, I think that's great. How often have we heard people like, oh, how do we change it for these players who are just freaks?
We need to make the basket smaller.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Just make the greens tougher.
Yeah.
That was my philosophy going into Vic Open was, all right, people are becoming, getting used to this course. Let's make it tougher by adding an extra challenge. And look, you don't do it on every hole, but it certainly makes you think twice about, all right, well, if I miss this,
Yeah.
what's my comeback like? Or, you know, I've got to hit this.
You're your own worst enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we're going to get into people's heads. You know, that was Big Germ's opinion, but
Yeah.
Eulaberry, who was commentating with him, backed him up.
You got a little bit more to think about this year.
Absolutely, and I'm a big fan of elevating the baskets. I know
Me too.
a lot of people aren't, but I really like it. It gives another element to the hole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure exactly.
And I guess too, if you're restricted by not being able to create a more challenging green because you might not have a bunker underneath it, or you might not have this death putt or these trees guarding it, at least in an open green, you know, around a basket, you can have. If you elevate it, I guess it gives you the opportunity of creating, you know, another element of challenge.
Exactly. And it doesn't mean to say we need to elevate them by 8 feet.
Yeah.
You know, it not to that extreme. Even just like the smallest of elevation, I think, can change people's approach to a putt just that little bit more.
I've people talk about wanting to upgrade courses and whether this is something, you know, if you went down the path of doing the smaller basket, the smaller target, and that means literally a smaller diameter basket. So that would, if it went down that path, you'd be talking about, you know, a requirement to replace so many baskets on courses.
Yeah,
it would be
which is
completely
crazy.
not practical
Nah.
and so expensive. It's a little bit less expensive maybe to just, you know, take the basket up a little bit higher, replace the pole if need be.
Exactly.
And the only thing I can think of is that maybe if you were going to have these baskets permanently in parks, you just want to make sure that people can actually still get the disc out of the catcher.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
they're at the level right now where it's easy for a 4 or 5 year old kid to be able to get it out. As long as they can still reach and grab a disc out of the basket, I think you're laughing.
Yeah, exactly. And usually we're talking only maybe half a foot, or you know, even that makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah.
With and that combined with the elevation of placement and all that sort of stuff, it certainly makes you think a little bit more on your putts.
Yeah. I hope to see more of it.
I'm sure there will be plenty more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've started the Wheeler watch.
Oh, we need a wheel sound effect.
I know, we do.
Like a burnout.
Australia's own Jordan Wheeler competed in the Utah Open and actually placed 28th.
On ya, Geordie.
Congrats, dude. I think he was just shy of 1,000 rated round in there. Played solid. Yeah.
Cool.
Really good. Again, not bad for lefty.
All right.
It's never going to get old, is
No,
it?
it won't. Sorry, Geordie.
Oh,
Hang
what's
on.
this?
What's that?
Is
Is that
got a
the-
go.
Hello.
Is that the smug line?
Oh. Hang on.
Oh, better get it.
Hello, this is Smug Putter. If you're half as good as me, then you'll be twice as good as Paul Macbeth.
Well, geez,
He's back again.
Who was that guy?
that was unexpected. He's certainly a smug putter, isn't he?
I think we might have to vet these calls before they come through. We may need a producer. Anyone got any skills?
It's coming on one line. It's the smug line.
We just can't stop it.
He's only going to keep calling until we answer. All right. Well, what's been the news down under? The news in Australia. We've had a bit of stuff going on. One, we had a tournament that we mentioned at the last podcast that it was happening as we were recording, actually, and that was the South Australian Disc Golf Open.
Ooh, Tinty.
At Tinty.
Tinty.
Yes, it was, yes, at the Tintinara Disc Golf Park. Tell us a little about it, Andrew, seeing as you designed it.
Oh, about the course? Okay. Well, I believe I didn't attend the event myself, but I believe the local South Australian Disc Golf Association members did get in there and tweak the course for the event to up the challenge a bit, as it was an Australian Disc Golf A-tier event.
Sounds like they accomplished their plan there, because there was only 2 players who came in under par.
Right, there you go. And I'm not too sure what the round ratings were for that. But yeah, anyway, so regardless, the Tintinara Disc Golf Park there is a 9 basket, 18 tee course with reds and blue tees. And it's in a great town with a beautiful, I guess, is it a watering hole that's naturally created, which kind of the course travels around.
Do you mean the lake or the pub? Because
Both.
I know more about the pub than the watering. and we mentioned last podcast about there was a couple of little changes to the course.
Yeah, there was actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
on my way from Western Australia to Victoria recently, popped in there to redesign a couple of holes because the local men's shed were pushing to have an RV park put in there, which is great because they're going to bring some new people to the area, but it also meant that we had to tweak a few holes. So some changes were made, and I believe all the new signage is up, so it's all ready to kind of play. But yeah, so I believe the SA crew there did redesign some holes and created a fun and challenging course for those who competed in the event.
And all reports was that it was a pretty good event, I think. Like, everyone had a lot of fun, and saw a couple of photos of people's get-togethers at the pub and all that sort of stuff. Looked like they're having a ball.
Yeah. The winner of the tournament took it out came in with a 2 under par was Mr. Neil Roberts, the old ex-ADG president.
On you, Neil.
Yeah, good on you, mate. It's good to see him back out on the course. Last time I saw him, he blew his knee out. So
Yes, at Canberra.
Yeah. Shocking.
Poor bugger.
Don't want to see that to anyone. So I'm glad that he's back out and he's got a tournament under his belt. So congrats.
Very good.
The other big mention, man, I actually spoke to the TD director during the week, Luke Turnbull. He said one of the biggest things to note about this tournament was the local participation. Yeah, I think there was about 9 Tintinara locals who came out and played. And he had his own little local division that he put up. And the winner of that was Joffa Kennett.
Hey,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was he wearing the Hawthorn jacket?
Yeah.
The brown and white striped jacket?
Being Joffa, Kenneth, surely he'd be wearing a magpie and hawthorn.
Yeah.
Joffa being...
Oh, my bad. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused here.
No.
Yeah,
Well, it's kind of a
yeah.
combination of the two. Joffa being the Magpies, the Collingwood
That's
Magpies. What is he? Is he the head kind of
Cheerleader.
cheerleader person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cheer squad
His squad.
person.
He's got the best of both worlds, Joffa.
So yeah, no, that was a great thing to see.
And I think that's. I mean, there's only a few hundred people who live in Tintinara.
Yes.
So to have
9% of the population.
yeah, out there kind of playing the course, it's fantastic.
And we're not joking. It probably is literally 9%.
No,
No, it's good.
it's good to see. I think all up they had about 30 something players.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
good. I know there was a contingent coming over from Western Australia, from Perth, who
True.
drove
I saw that.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I believe Jacob Stanley was in there, and we had
Oh, right.
Del Beatty as well. It might have been Big Al,
Jacob
Al
Stanley.
Robinson.
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, he was too.
Fantastic effort there, driving the nullarball to play the event. Great.
I'm sure they had a blast driving across.
Yeah. Okay, so on the phone we've got David Bandy, who is currently the president of the Australian Disc Golf Association. Say good day, Bandy.
G'day guys, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
How you going?
Welcome to the tee-off.
And not
Thank
just
you. Thanks for having us on.
not just the president, but he's a pretty handy disc golfer himself.
He certainly is. It certainly is. I've learned a thing or two. He's kicked my ass a few times.
He can rip it up. He's won a few things in the past.
Just like half, more than half,
Nearly everything
80% of
in
everything.
Australia.
Yeah.
There you go, mate. We've warmed you up nicely.
Yeah, thanks. There's a couple there I haven't got yet.
What
I'm still
haven't
on the hunt.
you got yet?
ACT and Queensland, I believe. Well, and the Nationals. I haven't won the Nationals yet either. So
Oh, well, it's only 3 to go. That's not that bad.
3 to
right.
go.
You're still young, mate.
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
You've still got 1 hip left.
4 years till Masters, mate.
Well, hurry up then. Hurry up.
I'll be right there with you, Dave.
Yeah.
Bandy, how is the presidency going?
Oh, it's good, mate. It's good. Yeah, it had a bit of a rocky start to start with, but I think everyone's finding their feet and everyone works well together. So, things are going well together.
It's good. And what are the sort of the goals that you've set yourself as president, mate?
Mate, to tell you the truth, I've never been fantastic at setting goals. I think it's more it's more about just helping the sport grow, you know, just being there for people who need the help to make it work. Really, that's where I see the AG working at the moment. I think there's a lot of people in there that have got some fantastic ideas, and you know, it's more about whatever I can do to help those people get those goals achieved.
That's fantastic.
Right.
Like joining us on the tee-off and letting us ask you silly questions. Love it.
yeah.
Oh, captain,
Yeah,
my
I've never
captain.
been great at goals.
So next weekend as well, we've got the Perth Open coming up. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, look, it's going to be exciting, mate. I think the Perth Open every year is just an exciting event. And I think we're a bit lucky here in WA. We've got a lot of people to make the time go quick. So, you know, you give someone a job and you just know it's going to be done. So being the TD of an event like the Perth Open is not too tough. Makes life easier.
So you have taken the reins as tournament director for this event, is that right, Dave?
Yes, I have, yeah. Yep.
And
But like I said, mate, like there's that many people here that offer their help. So, you know, you just ring them up and ask them if they need a hand with something, and most of the time you get told to leave them alone, and they're doing it. So it makes life a lot easier. Yeah.
And Dave, it seems like let's say 95% of the sign-up list is all Perth people too.
Oh, it's fantastic, mate. Like I get spoken to all the time, and it's like, I don't know whether I should play the Perth Open. It's you know, it seems like a pretty big event, and I'm like, why not? Why wouldn't you? You've got to sign up. So, you know, we've got a lot of those guys, a lot of first years, and I mean, all these new courses that Disc Golf Park putting in the ground, I think Andrew Fergie, you know, it's just brought so many people.
Yeah.
And, everyone's coming down. I would say, you know, I'd like to say sort of 50%, 60% of these people, it might even be their first sort of big tournament. So
yeah.
That's a very
Exciting
special
times.
thing, actually, because it is one thing to have new people playing the sport, but to have them feel comfortable to take that next step and actually play in a tournament. I mean, that's just a real sign of I guess that great community that Perth's got over there. So that's really good.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think it's great because, I mean, we run a putting league and stuff like that here. Those new players come down to that and they see that, you know, not everything's too serious. Everyone's out there for the same reason, to play disc golf. So a lot of those guys are sort of, I'm definitely going to sign up for the Perth Open. So
They may
really
retire afterwards though, after they hit 4,000 trees at Pine Lines, but and their arm falls off at Mundaring. But that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. It's a great mix of two different courses. So I think a lot of people are looking excited. Excited for that.
So how's it working, Benny? How's the format? So you said that there's two courses. How is there going to be a certain amount of rounds at each course? How does that work?
Yeah. So basically, we're going to be playing this Saturday at Pine Lines because in Perth we just do the A tier over 2 days at the moment. It costs a fortune for people to come out here, so we want to try to have it in the shortest amount of time we can. So we'll do two rounds at Pine Lines on the Saturday, and then we'll light the big bonfire and everyone can have a bit of a feed, and then we've got the Mundaring on the Sunday for one round.
Beautiful. Pine Lines, which is out at Kidgigana at Keenan Velios, his property.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me, like the last time I played the Perth Open, I had a great big dirty beard. It was definitely before I met my fiance. And I think it's definitely changed a little since then, Bandy. How's the course developed?
It's just a lot cleaner, mate. Like, I remember the first year we had it out there, I think there was pretty much one fairway that was cut on each hole, you know, and other than that, if you came in with less than 10 scratches or 10 gouges out of yourself, you considered pretty lucky. So ever since then, every year, mate, like, you know, Keenan, myself and a few others, we'd be walking through the pines and you just see a new line. You're just like, wow, we've got to clean that out. You know, this could be so much better. So,
yeah,
you know, this course is however many years in the making. It'd be good 6 years or something, you know, where every year It's not a 2-month job before the tournament. This is a 12-month job. It's all year round. You go out there and you're cutting trees and cutting branches
And you've got a
leaf
good
blowing.
crew. You've got a good crew that come along and every year before the Perth Open and put in or donate their time to help clean up the course and make it look as good as it does. And you even have
it's
your
unreal.
Golden Shovel Award.
Yeah, and it just shows like people who are getting the golden shovel. It actually brings tears to their eyes, mate.
Yeah.
So it just shows how much pride people are putting into that course.
Yeah.
When they get the golden shovel, you actually see them starting to tear up.
Yeah.
So people do invest a lot of their time into that course, and it shows, I think.
I was there actually when I think it was the tournament you last played, Paddy.
Yeah.
When Georgie Valius.
I think that was last year.
No, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Did he
I
win
was
it
there
last year?
I was there when George
Oh,
got
there
it.
you go. Oh, but you were there as well. Okay, yeah, that was a very emotional moment, I have to say.
Yeah.
He certainly teared up, and it just goes to show the passion that the club and that they have out there. It's
So
fantastic.
just quickly as well, like the golden shovel is for a volunteer?
Yeah.
or-
So, Dave, do you want to explain what that...
yeah. I mean, everything that's done up there is volunteer, and the golden shovel just goes to the guy who, Keenan and the previous golden shovel winners have put in like a huge effort. They're just there at every single busy bee, and you just see them non-stop, just picking up sticks or, just doing whatever needs to be done to make the course the way it is. So
That's great. That's pure love of the sport.
Yeah.
That's great.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, pure love of the course too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you love it? It's a pretty amazing place.
It's a magical place. It is.
Yeah. As I said, it's been a few years since I played a Perth Open, but I can't speak highly enough of the one that I did play. And in fact, a photo from the Perth Open, I can't remember which hole it was, but it has been the background on my desktop computer since the last time I played, for the last 3 to 4 years. I haven't even committed to my fiance for even that long, so that's... I cannot wait to get back out there.
Where's the photos of Emily on your desktop?
They're,
where is your commitment? mate?
they're on my laptop.
They're in a subfolder.
No, it's just so much light hands make such a great course, mate. That's all it is. It works out well.
Well, we touched on it before, but the last time I looked at the registered players was that there was 70 registered players, and only 5 of them were interstate players.
Yeah.
Only
Yep.
5.
That's insane.
That's huge. That just
And I'd also say 95% of that list has come out to at least one of the busy bees to help lend a hand out there. So
wow.
it's a great effort. It's an absolute smashing effort from everyone here in Perth. Neighbours might think we're a bit of weirdos out there with our leaf blowers blowing pine needles off pine needles, but it makes a difference.
No, people appreciate it. That's for sure.
Cannot wait to play.
And that's the beauty of the tournament. We have Pine Lines, which is your tight technical course, which I'd say it's almost by itself in Australia. I'm not, there's not too many courses around Australia that are like that I've played, I don't think. And then the following day we have Mundaring, which is a totally different course, just as good.
And probably most of the world knows Mundaring by now, as it was the side of the Aussie Open. I did play the Aussie Open this year, and it was in the middle of summer, and I am definitely looking forward to trying it in winter when it is not in scorching 40-degree heat.
It's green.
And green.
Yeah, it's green. I unfortunately haven't been able to get out there, but I've seen a hell of a lot of photos from people, and it's looking nice and green. So
Well,
it's looking really good.
I'll believe that when I see it. And no,
I think it's supposed to be 40 on the Sunday too when we're playing out there, by the way.
Oh, wow. Suck eggs, guys. Glad
What?
I'm not going.
40.
No, I'm just joking.
All right, Dave. Well, really appreciate you coming on and just giving us a bit of insight into the Perth Open next week and Australian disc golf. Yeah, really appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Good work, mate.
Okay, we're also going to get on the line the Darlington Darling himself, Jason Brown. He's going to tell us a bit about the Mundaring Disc Golf Park, the Mundaring Disc Golf Club, and their role in the upcoming Perth Open.
Patrick Robertson.
Oh, is that Jason Brown?
It certainly is.
Oh, g'day, mate. Welcome to the tee-off.
Hey, JB.
Thank you very much.
Jason Brown, how are you, mate?
Hello, guys.
We've got a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
First one, how is the course being Mundaring Disc Golf course, looking for Perth Open?
Yeah, well, we've just had a busy bee today, and so we had a few of the guys come out and get a bit of work done out on the course, and it's looking pretty spectacular. And the difference between this and the Aussie Open is everything is also green at the same time. So it's looking pretty good.
Sounds amazing. We did have David Bandy on earlier, and I'll say the same thing to you as I did to him. I'll believe it when I see it, JB. But I'm intrigued. I cannot wait to see a green Mundaring.
Yes, well, it was interestingly enough, it was green about a week after the Aussie Open.
Of course it
we
was.
Had
Yeah.
the wettest.
Yep.
We had the wettest day we've ever had, I think, in Perth.
Yep.
Certainly the wettest day ever in February, and within 2 days of that, the fairways were green.
I'm sure it was like, low 20s or something as well, wasn't it? Like just not
Check the
40. It was probably like 23 or something.
No humidity.
Yeah.
No
Check the
wind.
Facebook photos if
Perfect
you want
disc
to see
golf
them.
weather, really.
Well, 40 degrees and humid.
No.
Yeah, it's,
No thanks.
Not
that's
that.
pretty standard.
thanks.
Pretty standard Aussie Open weather. That we just missed the massive downpour that we had the first time around. So, but I can tell you that June in Perth is quite pleasant by comparison.
That sounds good. And Perth Open looks like it's shaping up to be a big one. We did hear from Bandy about that. What I'd like to ask you about though, JB, is the Mundaring Disc Golf course is actually being looked after and run by the Mundaring Disc Golf Club. How is that all progressing, JB?
Yeah, it's coming along really well. We're up over 30 members, I think, at this stage, which is a really great improvement and a great increase. Myself and Andrew last year sort of pushed a little bit of a membership drive last year and trying to get a few more members into the club. And the board of management at the club also sort of did a bit of a review of their membership fees and sort of brought them down to something which is a bit closer in line with what you would probably expect your average disc golfer to pay to be in a club, and that's made a huge difference to the numbers that we're getting there.
Everyone loves
and
a
we're
bargain.
hoping to hold on to those guys.
That's great. One amazing thing about Mundaring Disc Golf course is that it is on a ball golf course, traditional golf course. It's not public. It's a private course, and it is manicured. It's looked after by the people who run it. That's for us disc golfers who are often playing in public parks. That's amazing. Like you're playing on a full private facility, and that's worth paying for, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, we definitely get some help also from the guys from the golf club, and they do a fair bit of work out there on the fairways and mowing and maintaining and that sort of stuff. And we try and do our bit where we can. Obviously, we have some separate fairways to the golf fairways as well, which we need to sort of look after, and tee pads and those sorts of things that we need to sort of make sure are looking pretty good. We usually do our own out-of-bounds line marking. Yeah, it is nice in many ways. Obviously, you can control to a greater degree who's on the course at the time. You can close the course for events and those sorts of things, and actually be able to know pretty safely that you're not going to find walkers and people like that you don't expect to see on the course all that often. So that's a nice advantage. And obviously, you can make longer and more challenging holes, I guess, than what you can sometimes in the public sort of areas as well. So yeah, we definitely have those two advantages, which sort of results in a pretty challenging, long international standard course, which is great to have in your backyard.
And that's why it was able to host the Aussie Open. That's fantastic. Alrighty, JB. Appreciate you joining us today and chatting some disc golf.
Thanks for having me on the tee-off.
Okay, next up, we've got a course review courtesy of flyspot.com.au.
Thanks, Paddy. That was good.
Yeah, you're
Brilliant.
We'll get straight into it. This month, we're going to do a little quick course review on Threadbow. It's a unique situation. We have 2 courses within very close proximity, but they're seasonal. So I've had the opportunity to play the Friday Flat course designed by our very own Andrew Ferguson from Disc Golf Park Australia. The Friday Flat course, which is only playable in summer. It utilises the ski slopes quite well. So it has 9 baskets and 18 tees. So you can basically go around twice in a loop, and it plays up the mountain, and then some really, really beautiful sort of downhill throws down towards the
Base of the mountain.
Base of the mountain, exactly. Pay to play course. We believe it's around $10, but that does include disc hire.
That's nothing.
Which is, it's pretty good. And I think, look, if you've made the effort to get there, you would most definitely be willing to part with $10 to have a good round, because it's pretty beautiful place, beautiful views. It is a little chilly, and even in the slightly warmer months, it still can get quite cold as you climb up the mountain. So. Look, it's only half the offering from Threadbow. They've actually got another course down the road, but this is operational during the ski season. So if you are a snowboarder or a skier, you are able to go to Threadbow and play disc golf at the same time. I haven't actually had the opportunity to play this course, so I thought we'd get Andrew Ferguson to tell us a little bit about it. The course is actually located on a golf course.
That's very true, Jarrath. It kind of carries on from. I actually haven't had the honour of playing the course myself either. I designed it, but I'm looking forward to going back and actually playing it with some baskets and tees in the ground. The course. I mean, obviously with Friday Flat, you have a red and a blue tees.
Yep. That's right.
Front and back 9, and out on the golf course you have white and gold tees.
Ah, interesting.
Yep. So if you go to Threadbow, you can at least have the chance of playing a different rated course. Obviously, the colour coding being a rating that the PDGA issue out, which I've designed the course around. So anyway, out of the golf course, we've got 18 tees for the 9 baskets. It's on the 9-hole golf course at Threadbow, so it's only a 9-hole golf course, and we managed to utilise the whole thing. So we've got
awesome.
The white course. Obviously, it's a I think it's around a 900 rated course, and then our gold course is, well, we're aiming for 1,000, but no doubt Ricky might go there and have words to say about that, but.
It's 18 down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But look, it's a beautiful facility. I mean, you're in the mountains, so there's elevation. Beautiful manicured fairways, manicured greens, bunkers, trouble off the fairways. You've got some really thick kind of natural fauna. I should say flora. You do have some fauna as well. There's some wombats out there and kangaroos.
A couple of drop bears.
And there's some creeks running around it and little bit some water hazards. It would be a really, really fun course to play.
Can't wait.
Yeah, and especially that gold as well. I mean, we kind of lack those championship level courses in Australia. I think this one would be a good fun one to play. I mean, just the 9 holes itself on the gold. I think the distance is about a bit over 1,200 metres for the 9 holes. So,
It'd be really nice if this could stay in permanently.
And look, if people go there, I think, hey, let the management know that you enjoyed it. And, just so they can, they might have the impetus to leave those baskets out there even during summer. And we might find ourselves playing some pretty fun tournaments on them.
I think I'm definitely keen to get back there, at least this spring. Not far from Threadbow is, of course, you've got Jindabyne course. You've also got
Alpine Adventist.
Yeah, and then also not far from there is Lake Krakenbach, which is just as beautiful to play as well. So I highly recommend, if anyone's looking for a little 3-4 day getaway and wants to play a different course every day, that's the area to go to. Like that's where you go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they Jindabyne, that's where they had the New South Open last year. So I'd love to see one at Threadbow on a gold course. That sounds fantastic.
Sounds really good. Maybe we'll get a little bus ride together up there, and maybe get a few crew together and.
No, we should.
And of course, you can stay there as well. I think it's a Sofitel or I can't remember the hotel management company, but yeah, great facilities.
If you've played any of these courses around this area, make sure you get onto the flyspot.com.au website and leave a review for these courses, because we'd really love to know what you think about them.
Now, at 6 p.m. this evening, we put a Facebook post out saying that at 7 p.m. tonight, we will have a giveaway of 2 AVR3s, brand new, courtesy of Innova Australia, to the first and third person to call us here at the tee-off. It's now 7 o'clock on the dot, and the phone is ringing.
What have we got? It's a mobile phone.
I better answer it.
Okay, here we go.
You're on the tee-off.
I'm on the tee-off. Cool.
Who have we got?
Who we got?
Sarah Loft.
Oh,
Hey, guys.
I think we just
I just peeked out the box.
We just destroyed. Poor old Audacity. It did not handle that well.
Level check.
But Sarah Loft, how you going? Welcome.
Yeah, good.
That's good. Guess what, Sarah Loft?
What?
You've won a new disc.
Uh-oh.
Yay!
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm gonna Snapchat Cassie right now, and she's gonna love that.
there you go.
You jelly much?
Congratulations,
Which
Sarah.
which one do you want, Sarah? Do you want the pink one or the yellow
So
one?
we can just do a little close-up here. We have the pink AVR3, and it's in the star plastic. Quite a nice grippy
Ooh,
star
yeah, let's
plastic
go
too.
the pink one.
Oh, you like the pink one? Okay.
Oh, but wait. Make
Or-
sure you check out.
Or you can get yourself the DX line AVR3.
No, let's go to star plastic.
Okay, yeah, she's definitely sold on the pink.
choice.
Oh, beautiful. And why not?
Okay, hang on, guys. While we're talking to Sarah, we've had one call.
Yep.
And we did say the third
The
person.
third caller, that's...
And here is the third person.
Okay, so hang on the line there, Sarah.
Ooh, okay.
You're on the tee-off. Who are we talking to?
Oh, hey there, it's Oscar.
Oscar Felberg.
Oscar Felberg. Oh,
How's it
no.
going, guys?
How are you going, mate?
Yeah, I'm not bad.
That's good. Guess what, Oscar?
What's that?
You've won a new disc, mate.
No way.
Oh, wow.
You?
You got yourself...
No.
There you go, that's the right way.
There it is.
So
Oscar,
sorry.
before we say g'day, I just want to just shout out to Tosh, who has just tried to call me again for the second time. I'm so sorry, Tosh, but you were the second caller, and now you're the fourth caller.
Oh,
Oh,
that's always next month, mate.
it's got to be the third caller because it's an AVR3. I'm sorry.
I feel terrible. That's all right. Well, that's the point of a
luck of the
competition.
draw.
But hey, I think we've still got both of our winners on the line. Sarah, are you still there? Oh, Sarah might have gone.
Hang on.
Oscar, can we hear you?
Let's just.
A group call is in progress.
There we go.
Do we have
I'm
both our
back.
winners on the line?
I'm here.
Sarah's there.
Sarah's
Is
there.
Oscar there?
Oscar?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, there we go.
alright.
We have
Oh,
action.
Thank you, iPhone. Shout out to Apple.
Hey.
We're on the conference call. Right. Sarah Loft and Oscar, congratulations. You've both just won an AVR3.
And they are a beast of a disc, just in case you didn't know.
Special
Sweet.
thanks
Check
to
it out.
Innova Australia. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Innova Australia.
Cheers, Innova Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
You're
guys.
welcome. And as well too, just please stay on the line, or we'll get you back later to make sure we get your shipping details, so we can send those discs out to you.
All
Sounds good.
All right. Okay, another congratulations there to Oscar Feldberg and Sarah Loft. We'll get those AVR3s to you as soon as we can. Okay, so we're going to do some disc reviews. First up, Jazz.
Yeah, well, last month I did the Discraft Challenger. This month is just a disc that I've been liking a lot lately, and it's been working for me well for my mid-range game, is the Buzz OS, which is quite a stable disc. I've got two in my hand right now. I've got a first run Z plastic Buzz OS, which is beaten in quite nicely, and I also have a Thai Buzz OS as well, which is extremely stable. Both max weight. So the Z plastic one, which stays in my bag, has beaten into the point now where it's quite straight, but it has an extreme amount of fade at the end. As I said, very overstable, something similar to like a dynamic disc Justice or the Latitude Anchor. So quite overstable. Someone that throws maybe a lot of buzzers, it might be good if you need an overstable mid-range disc. Because the feel is quite similar, it doesn't have a hell of a lot of bead. It might just fit into your bag quite nicely. Really good for headwinds. Highly recommend it. I'm just really, the longer I have it, the more I'm liking it. So if you're a Buzz fan, go check out the Buzz OS.
Oh, good one.
What do you guys got?
Oh, well, I've got one of the new Latitude discs, actually. A few years ago, Latitude 64, they brought out the River. And the River was an extremely popular disc. Especially
Moon River.
It was an extremely popular disc with a lot of sort of beginner, intermediate, and some more experienced players were using it as a very straight driver, slow, glidey, turnover driver. A lot of people were messaging Latitude and just saying, hey, look, we love the River, but we'd love to see something a little more stable. So Latitude listened to the cries of the people and designed the River Pro. So it's actually was released this year as a part of the 2017 Trilogy Challenge, which is an event that all the Trilogy companies, so Latitude 64, Dynamic Discs, and Westside Discs, all contribute a disc each. Yeah, they sent one out to me. It's a lovely hot pink River Pro. It's a 168 gram. I have taken it out and had a bit of a throw with it, and it is definitely more stable than the original River that I've thrown before. Actually, I put quite a fair bit of heat on this and found that it would go quite it would go quite straight, but a very hard fade at the end. With my arm speed in a headwind, it didn't really hold as much as I wanted it to. I think it'd be a real must-have for that beginner sort of intermediate player who has thrown a River before and loved it. It's definitely a River that's going to last longer in the bag.
What about as a utility disc, like a turnover driver? Do you think it would work good, like in a woods situation or something like that, tunnel shot?
Yeah, it could definitely be something out there for plenty of people. I think they'll get a lot of use out of this disc. So props to Latitude. Good job. Yeah. They listened to the people and give them what they wanted. So.
As you said, it's been the standard River. It's been a popular one. So
yeah,
very good.
Episode. What about you, Fergie? What do you got?
Yeah, what you got?
Well, I've got 2 discs in my hand. They are the same model, a couple of different plastics. And in fact, they're actually the discs that were given away in this podcast's giveaway.
Yeah.
So to Sarah Loft and
which was
Oscar
live
Fehlberg.
on Facebook. You might have caught that.
You might have caught that if you didn't go back and check it out.
Or follow us so you do catch future ones.
That's right. And if you do follow us and you comment, then you might be in the chance to win something yourself. Or become a contestant on the quiz. Anyway, I digress. I'm holding the AVR 3. So this has been out a few weeks now. I did get some discs sent out recently, and I've had a chance to give them a crack. And this thing's a pig. It is. It's beefy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super beefy. Nuggety. I'm going to say, if I can use that as a word to describe the disc.
Yeah.
Nuggety. And I mean, you're probably familiar with your traditional AVR. Which
I thought you were going to describe the word nuggety.
No, I think the word itself is description enough. Yeah, I mean, look, we all know the AVR. It's been out for many a year now, but this here is its angry little cousin.
Yeah.
With a super flat top, It's basically, I mean, I guess looking at it from a profile side-on view, you've got the typical kind of AVR bottom to it, but that flight plate on the top is just dead flat.
You could set us like a straight level to that.
You could. You can eat off it too. I've actually,
Yeah.
I had my my eggs Benedict this morning off off the Star one here. It was delicious.
You would.
And it is look, it's a really very, very stable putter.
Yeah.
You can throw it hard, like really, really hard, into a headwind, and it's not flipping. I'm talking about backhand. It's very, very reliable. You know that this thing's going to turn left. It's not going to fly very far. I mean, the rating, the flight numbers on it are a 3.202. So she's a slow one, not much glide there at all, and a little bit of fade. And yeah, it's definitely not turning over with the backhand. And also in terms of sidearms as well, having that flat top, she fits in the hand very nicely, because there's not many putters you get the chance to kind of flick forehand.
No.
But this thing, I think it kind of reminds me of maybe like a harp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very much. Yeah.
Yeah. So
except the rim's a little more rounded. The harp's a little bit more of a square edge rim.
Yeah.
But the AVR 3 is a lot more, as an AVR is, a little more rounded, but similar sort of fly characteristics, I would say. Yeah.
I think it's very exciting for Innova to do this. I think it's going to be a really solid disc, and it speaks on all levels. Maybe a beginner is going to find it pretty overstable, but as soon as you get in a headwind, bang, that's going to be your go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's as you said, if it's one of those things, even not even upshots, but your putts, if you're staring down a nasty headwind, you can pop this thing out, and it's not going to rise up too much on you or flip over, to the right or left if you're a lefty. Yeah, really solid. And the Star, these first kind of run ones have come out in this nice. It's got a little bit of flex to it. The Star, it's quite nice and grippy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Super grippy though. Like compared to, I would say, Star drivers that I've thrown in the past, a lot more grippy. But I mean, that just could be this particular one or a specific batch. But yeah, quite good.
And the DX,
I do like the DX though.
Yeah, they've come. Yeah. It's super stiff. And they've come out with this really nice the AVR Classic font. So if you're familiar with that, which is one of the better kind of fonts used, and this thing, I mean, that was released back in the kind of late 80s, I suppose, when the AVR Classic.
I would say 80s.
Yeah. So if
maybe early 90s.
Could be early 90s, yeah. So they've come out with that font with this,
much like they call it the grid stamp.
Yeah.
Is it the grid stamp?
Yeah.
Which is the classic AVR. It's got the grid squares basically across the whole top. That same font.
Very Tron inspired.
Nice.
Very Tron inspired.
Nice.
Yep. I know Paul's. I watched an In the Bag with Paul just the other day, which has recently been released, and he's definitely got one in there, and I've seen him throw it on a couple of events recently, and seems to work for Paul.
Anything.
I'm sure. I'm sure most stuff works for him.
So there you go. That's my review for this week.
Nice.
That's a good bunch of discs. What are we going to do next month? I'm running out of ideas. No, I'm not. I got plenty.
There's something that I might, if I can get my hands on it, depending on when it comes. I mean, just
new stuff.
Well, there might be something. There might be something new coming out from Innova. It's on the 14 speed scale.
Wow!
And I might just, and I'm talking stable as well, not your Colossus, but more stable.
You heard it here first.
The Firestorm. The fire. Yeah, how's that? Sounds sexy, doesn't it? Well, if I can get my hands on one, we'll definitely give it a crack. But we'll see how we go.
Come on, Innova. Come through with the goods.
That brings us to the end of another episode of The Tee Off.
Oh
no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Can we stay?
Well, the good news is that there's plenty of disc golf being played around the globe and in Australia, so we will be back.
What's on right now?
Right now?
Beaver.
The Beaver State Fling.
Nice beaver.
Nice beaver.
Viva Las Vegas.
It's not in Las Vegas.
Oh, sorry.
We'll have to talk about that next.
Yeah.
One of my favourite events and one of the best courses I've ever played in the world, Mile McCover, but we will talk about that.
Shut up, Paddy.
That is all set and ready for the next episode. Just wanted to say a big thank you to David Bandy and Jason Brown, two Western Australian boys chatting with us today. Congratulations again to Sarah Loft and Oscar Fellberg.
Yeah. Woo.
The clap
I
track.
will do it.
Where's the clap track?
Do it.
All right, ready?
Good production skills there.
Oh, mate, I'm on it. You'll all be receiving your discs as soon as we can get them to you.
What are they?
Two lovely brand new AVR 3s courtesy of Innova Australia. All right, guys. Big thanks to Jarrath and Fergie for joining me again. I'm Paddy Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
This is the teeoff.
Feel
See you
that
later,
beat.
huggers.
Oh, yeah. Woo! Break it down. What? You!
The teeoff.
Yeah, we are.